Okay, next up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Senate committee members. My name is Jorge Martinez. I am the Texas Field Director for the Libre Initiative here in the Valley. We're an organization that's a nonpartisan, nonprofit that seeks to advance the principles of economic freedom within the U.S. Hispanic community so that it can thrive and contribute to a more prosperous America. On behalf of the organization and as a new homeowner of Hidalgo County, I would like to express our concern with the high, inconsistent property taxes that are plaguing our region. When it comes to planning our family budget, I feel what many others instinctively sense, that property taxes here are simply getting to be too high. In fact, Texas property taxes continue to be among the nation's highest. Texans pay an average of $3,327 in real estate taxes. It's the fifth highest in the United States at 59%, which is higher than the American household average at $2,089. Before becoming a homeowner, my wife and I doubted whether we should own a home because of the ever-increasing property taxes. After months of saving, my wife and I settled for a home that we knew we could afford, factoring in the property taxes and our monthly payment. But the uncertainty comes with an ever-increasing tax burden might make it so that one day we cannot afford this. As a new homeowner with my first child on the way, I'm excited with the opportunity to pour into my life, the life of my child. However, I'm not excited of the increasing portion of the money that comes from my hard work that is not going to go to my family, but it's going to go to frequently changing property taxes. Latinos as a community feel the effect of this tax burden as deeply as any other, if not more so. According to Pew, in 2011, Hispanics accounted for 91% of the Hidalgo County population. The median annual personal earnings of Hispanics statewide is only $20,000. And at this level, any tax burden will be felt keenly, as families struggle to bear the cost while also paying for food, education, and other expenses. My experience as a homeowner has made me realize that I am fortunate for what I have earned. However, when a majority of my monthly mortgage payment goes to property taxes and just a fraction goes to the principal of my loan, I find myself unsure how local government has been able to get away with taxing the poorest region to the extreme. The Libre Initiative doesn't endorse specific legislation or policy proposals, but it is clear that Hispanics in Texas want the legislator to address this. We hope that through these hearings, the committee can take what they have heard from those affected by these decisions back to Austin and find a way to ease this burden. Thank you.
Mr. Martinez, thank you so much for testimony. Senator Lucio.
Mr. Martinez, thank you for your excellent testimony. Would you and others that are here today favor a referendum that would allow you to choose the type of taxation that you would like to see in Texas in order for government to operate for you? In other words, we're still going to have to, the Constitution tells us we have to pay for our public education, obviously higher education, and all the services that come out of state government. Would you favor a referendum? Mind you that just because I mentioned doesn't mean I'm in favor of other forms of taxation. As a matter of fact, I've consistently voted against the state income tax. But would you feel that maybe that would be an alternative? That could be an option that would offset your property taxes, where if you work, you pay. If you don't work, obviously you don't lose your home.
Well, currently the Libre Initiative does not have a view on this issue. However, personally, I believe a way that we can be more economically free will be best.
I didn't get more economically.
I would favor something where we could have more money in our pockets, something to be economically favorable to the Hispanic community.
If I could add on, so you agree that the rate of growth of property taxes is substantially higher than people's median income?
Yes.
Right, and actually you make the point that in many cases you could have, in the Hispanic median income could be less than the average, and therefore this is far more impactful.
That is correct.
I'm not trying to take away from your talk, sir.
And if I may, Mr. Chairman, the bottom line is the reason I asked that question is because I too want to keep my home. I don't want to lose my home. for failure to pay my taxes. And as I mentioned earlier today, I'm relieved at the end of the year, at the beginning of the new year, when I do pay my taxes, that I have 12 more months, to prepare for the next cycle. And obviously, many people operate or live on a fixed income, and many on a very low income, who have achieved the American dream of a home. So I can appreciate what you're saying, but the reason I bring it up is because there are options. There's always an option, and I'd like to kind of take a poll, my own personal poll of how many people would favor a referendum on other types of taxation that we don't have in Texas that could maybe raise not only the same money, but maybe more money, but you would pay less taxes. And those that make millions of dollars obviously would pay more than those that make $25,000 a year or $50,000 a year. That's all I'm saying. I think that we should consider that. We have time to think about that. Unfortunately, in 1994, Governor Bullock, wanted so badly to put together a committee, a blue ribbon committee statewide to look at the different forms of taxation, and no one could ever come to the table to try to work on it. And we should have done that way back in the early 90s, and I was one that was disappointed because I want fairness in taxation, no matter what kind we have. I think you're right, in your request. Thank you.